The world says I am the most fortunate Ninth Princess of Xizhou. Born noble, raised beneath endless winds, blessed by the great desert and the starry sky. My hometown is Xizhou, a boundless land of vastness. Endless yellow sand, wind-chased sunsets, and meadows stretching to the horizon carry freedom through every season. My father loved me deeply and never bound me by rigid etiquette. My mother was gentle and kind, always holding me safe in her palms. I never needed to learn the restraint of Central Plains women, never had to hide my emotions or dim my edges, never trapped myself in courtyards waiting year after year. I could ride my horse chasing the sunset across the grasslands, lie beneath the stars all night, laugh freely and act willfully, living a bright, open, and unrestrained life. Once I truly believed the world was inherently gentle. I thought all hearts were sincere, all encounters faded, that genuine feelings would always be reciprocated, and tenderness could withstand the erosion of time. I knew nothing of political schemes or worldly calculations. I never understood how love and hatred could wear a person down, nor that a single heartbeat could overturn a kingdom and burn up the rest of one's life. Raised in the purest winds, I foolishly yearned toward the darkest palace walls. In my ignorant youth, I was endlessly curious about the prosperity of the Central Plains, envious of the splendid world and romantic tales in books. I thought mortal lives there were tender, that love always ended in companionship, that distant dynasties were filled with elegance and peace. Tired of the grassland's monotonous vastness, I longed to see the outer rivers and mountains, to meet the gentle lover of legend. I was far too naive. I believed fate's encounters were blessings, unaware they were carefully woven nets. From the very first meeting, I was trapped, doomed to a lifetime of suffering and sorrow. At 15, I met Gu Xiaowu. He crossed the yellow sand beneath moonlight, weary yet pure, fallen yet gentle. He was nothing like the bold youths of the grassland, nor the proud, distant princes of the Central Plains. He waited silently when I lost my way, comforted me softly when I was sad, sat with me on sand dunes watching desert sunsets, and tirelessly caught fireflies just to make me smile. He understood my willfulness, tolerated my recklessness, cherished my purity, and indulged every bit of my untimely innocence. In those unrestrained, brilliant desert days, Gu Xiaowu was the only light in my world. I had never loved anyone so deeply, nor opened my heart so completely. I gave him all the joy, sincerity, and unreserved devotion of my first love. I believed every promise he spoke, believed he would shelter me for a lifetime, believed we would stay together through every season. For him, I dared to disobey my father, abandon my princess glory, ignore the storms ahead, and insist on spending my future with this penniless youth. How foolish I was back then. Too foolish to see the hidden scheming in his eyes, to notice the calculated strides beneath his tenderness, to realize his indulgence and company were never affection, but a well-planned approach. He came near me not out of love, but because I was the Ninth Princess of Xizhou, the easiest pawn to overthrow my kingdom. He walked with me through desert winds and moons, showered me with tenderness, drowned me in devotion, and gained my complete trust, all to crush my homeland, destroy my people, and fulfill his imperial ambition. Blind and ignorant, I drowned willingly in the gentle dream he wove. I thought I had met the love of my life, but in truth, I had met the beginning of my eternal calamity. When the dream shattered, the pain was suffocating. Armored horses trampled the peace of Xizhou, war flames devoured my homeland. The once lush, gentle grassland turned overnight into a bloody field of corpses. I watched my clansmen fall in pools of blood, watched my loved ones part in despair, watched my father's lifelong achievements collapse, and witnessed my free and beautiful hometown reduced entirely to ruins. And the one who brought this catastrophe, who destroyed everything I had, was none other than Gu Xiaowu, the man I loved with all my heart. In the gentlest disguise, he delivered the cruelest betrayal. With the most devoted company, he laid the cruelest trap. With my purest sincerity, he traded my entire family's blood and my kingdom's fall. At that moment, my sky crumbled. All joy vanished. All love turned to grief. All sincerity became a joke. I fell from paradise into mire, from a carefree princess into a homeless ghost burdened with blood feuds. No despair hurts more than this. The person I loved the most destroyed my entire world with his own hands. I was drowned in overwhelming pain, hatred, and despair. I could not face this absurd and tragic love, could not bear this bone-scorching grief, could not continue loving a man stained with my people's blood. Thus, without hesitation, I jumped into the river Lethe. The world says Lethe's water erases love and hatred, washes away past grievances, and saves people from obsessions. Back then, I only wished to forget, to stop longing, stop loving, stop hating, stop remembering. I wanted to cut all ties and escape this endless torment. I thought forgetting would bring freedom, restore my innocence, and let me start anew. Yet fate is cruel, never sparing those trapped in obsession. It erased my hatred, the massacre, the agony of my fallen kingdom, and the brutal betrayal in the desert. But it left the deepest heartbeat in my heart untouched. It wiped my painful memories, but not the preference and obsession rooted in my bones. I forgot Gu Xiaowu's name, but I never forgot what it felt like to love him. My attempt to forget was nothing but self-deceptive release. With empty memories, I traveled to the Central Plains, married into the Eastern Palace, and became the envied crown princess. Dressed in splendid robes and jeweled crowns, dwelling in towering palaces, I enjoyed worldly glory and dignity. Yet only I knew this resplendent Eastern Palace was never a home, but a cold, airtight cage. There were no long desert winds, no free grasslands, no quiet starry nights. Here stood only high walls, cold halls, endless political strife, hypocritical smiles, and lurking dangers. I retained the openness and passion of a Xizhou girl, smiling freely, honest and pure, unable to learn the palace's hypocrisy and intrigue. Yet a part of my heart was forever empty, desolate and cold, unfillable by any glory. I often fell into unexplained melancholy, staring blankly at the moon beyond the palace walls, drowning in endless sorrow. I could not understand my constant gloom, the lingering emptiness in my chest, nor why my heart ached and fluttered uncontrollably every time I saw the cold, noble crown prince Li Chengyan. He ruled the Eastern Palace, the future emperor, cold, reserved, solemn, exuding an imperial aura that repelled closeness. I should have kept my distance, yet my heart drew me near against all reason. I craved his rare tenderness, drowned in his exclusive affection, and fell for his clumsy, hidden indulgence. I told myself repeatedly that we were separated by status and estrangement, that I must not fall for him. Yet my heart overruled all logic, sinking deeper and deeper into his gentle protection, repeating the same fatal mistake all over again. It was not until the truth unfolded and my lost memories rushed back that I realized fate had never let me go. The cold emperor Li Chengyin and the gentle youth Gu Xiaowu were always one and the same. The man who deceived my heart, destroyed my kingdom, slaughtered my people, and severed my way home, the man I loved with all my youthful tenderness, was still him. How absurd, how ironic, how heart-wrenching. My new beginning was only a repetition of an old nightmare. My liberation was merely fate's cruel replay. After drinking the water of forgetfulness, enduring piercing longing and endless loneliness, I still fell hopelessly in love with the same person who ruined me completely. He remembered everything: the past, his debts, his sins, the desert encounter, and the betrayal. He bore all secrets alone, endured all torment alone, and schemed steadily to lock me in the Eastern Palace by his side. He gave me unique affection, unparalleled indulgence, protecting me from palace strife and pain. Yet how could I accept it calmly? His tenderness was too heavy, suffocatingly heavy. His exclusive love was rooted in piles of bones, blood feuds, and the ruins of my kingdom. He paved his imperial path with my people's lives, built his prosperous empire on my homeland's wreckage, and then attempted to atone with a lifetime of tenderness. But how could I dare to take this redemption? Everyone urged me to be content, saying Li Chengyin loved me sincerely, spoiled and protected me with unmatched devotion, that I should let go of the past and live peacefully, but they did not understand. I was the Ninth Princess of Xizhou. Loyalty to my country and gratitude to my people run in my blood. I could fall for tenderness, but I could never forget my blood feuds for love. I could never sacrifice my people's lives for my own happy ending. I could never forget my mother's desperate, tearful eyes as she ended her life, my father's desolate, aging figure amid fallen mountains, the suffering of displaced Xizhou people staining the sand with blood. All my youthful joy, home, and faith were crushed in his political games. These scars are carved into my soul, eternal and indelible. Thus I fell into endless torment, torn between two extremes, tortured every day and night. I truly loved him. From the first desert glance at 15, my heart fell forever. Even after knowing all truths and suffering endless pain, my love never faded or wavered. I cherished his tenderness, understood his helplessness, knew his obsessive devotion, pitied his lonely forbearance. I saw the fragility beneath his imperial shell, the solitude behind his power, the sincere love only for me. Yet I truly hated him too. I hated his calculated schemes, his deceptive tenderness, his cold, cruel politics, his destruction of everything I had, leaving me homeless, drifting and helpless for life. Love could not stay, hatred could not fade. I could neither forget completely nor rest in peace. This was my lifelong torture. Trapped between love and hatred, I had no way forward, no retreat. Staying in the Eastern Palace, facing him daily, was slow agony. Letting go of hatred to stay with him was betraying my country. Enjoying glory with a peaceful heart was living in sin. Among thousands of worldly paths, none was for me. I was originally a desert girl chasing wind, belonging to sunset, wilderness, and stars. I was never meant to be trapped in palace walls, entangled in love and hatred, confined by political sin. My soul was born free and open, my heart sincere and passionate. I should not have exhausted my life, tenderness, and innocence in this cold prison. Li Chengyin possessed thousands of miles of rivers and mountains, prosperous glory, and supreme power. He won every court struggle, conquered the nation, and triumphed in half a lifetime of schemes. But he lost me, lost his only purity and perfection in life. His magnificent empire could never surpass my youthful encounter with him. His peaceful future could never hold a heart destined for freedom. I saw his obsessive madness, how he imprisoned my freedom, isolated my past, and confined me step by step to keep me by his side. I also saw his humble helplessness, flustered when I cried, heartbroken when I distanced myself, desperate when I chose to leave. I knew all his deep love and helpless grievances, understood the sorrows of an emperor's helplessness. Yet I could never forgive, never cross the blood feud between us. Affection was real, love was real, tenderness was real, but so were his sins, my pain, and my ruin. True love could never override blood feuds, deep affection could never redeem a fallen kingdom. An exclusive favor could never fill half a lifetime of desolation. Therefore, I chose decisive departure. In the most tragic and thorough way, I cut all entanglements, ended all love and hatred, and terminated this lifelong tormenting obsession spanning two fates. I ended my life between the two armies. With my death, I ceased war, pacified Xizhou, and redeemed all sins and ties. I freed myself, and I freed him too. No longer would I be torn between love and hatred, trapped between country and affection. No longer would he live in lifelong guilt and obsessive regret. The moment the blade fell, I was finally liberated. Love and hatred vanished into emptiness. All past grievances dispersed. From then on, there was no longer a Ninth Princess Xiaofeng of Xizhou, no longer a gentle Gu Xiaowu of the desert, no longer a tangled Li Chengyin of the Eastern Palace. All tenderness, obsession, pain, and lingering love and hatred returned to the yellow sand, the long wind, the starry sky, and the distant past. Li Chengyin, you won the world, yet you lost me. For the rest of your life, you rule endless rivers and mountains, overlooking prosperous glory, worshipped by thousands and honored through eternity. But no one will ever watch desert sunsets with you again. No one will cherish faint firefly lights for you. No one will love you with pure, unreserved sincerity. You gained supreme power and an empire admired by generations, yet you lost the one and only Xiaofeng who loved you wholeheartedly, purely, and passionately. Your remaining years will be eternally silent and lonely. Surrounded by worldly prosperity, you will live in solitary desolation. This is the glory of your imperial achievement and also your lifelong, irreplaceable punishment. As for me, I finally broke free from palace shackles, from love's torment, from fate's entanglement, returning to the desert winds I had always missed. Xizhou's wind will scatter all obsession. The desert moon will soothe all scars. From then on, I have no home to grieve for, No love to long for, no hatred to endure, no one to wait for. If there is an afterlife, I will not be a Xizhou princess, will not enter the deep palace, will not meet old desert lovers, will not stir deep love and hatred. I will only be an ordinary girl chasing wind in the wilderness, riding across sand, watching stars and moons, living peacefully and openly year after year, free of worry and fear, free of obsession and longing, complete in myself, free for all my remaining days.